Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is a Heel Heat prediction challenge. As always, we're going up against our good friend Poppa Pickett from Poppa Pickett Gaming. I know it's a lot to say. Paul Pickett, aka Poppa, from Poppa Pickett Gaming. There we go. Got it all right. And the challenge is for WWE Fastlane 2018. Now, if you may have noticed, we didn't have a payoff on our last challenge yet. We're going to do that. We tied on it, so we're both going to have to do the punishment. Paul was moving this month, so he didn't get to do his video. I've had a pretty nasty cold that's been lingering for the last 2.5 weeks, so I really haven't been up to doing it as well. So we agreed. We're going to combine the two punishments on this. We both still have to take a punishment, but we're going to do it on our results show. Each of our own. Now, we're going to add the loser of this challenge. That punishment gets added. So one of us is going to take one punishment for sure, which, if you don't remember, was getting the pie in the face. The loser is going to take that punishment along with another that I'm going to mention at the end of the video. That being said, let's jump right into the predictions. First up, we have a women's tag team match. Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya Neidhart and Carmella. This is kind of hard to guess where they're going to want to go on this. They're all over the board on all four of these women. Seems like each one of them has a month they'll be hot, and then 2 months they'll be cold, and then another one picks up a month they'll be hot, and then they'll be cold for a while. Carmella seems to get forgotten every now and then. Becky Lynch as well. Naomi, if she isn't in the championship picture, is losing. So this is really a hard one to guess, because their booking on all four of these women have been all over the board over the last year. Anywhere from being a champion to being basically the jobber of the division. I have a feeling they're going to go with the faces here, Becky Lynch and Naomi. I think this is going to start. There's rumors that after WrestleMania, new championships are going to be introduced into the WWE. Maybe a women's tag team championship. I don't know that either roster could support it, but maybe if it's a belt that goes back and forth between rosters, or even gets defended on NXT as well. So maybe this is the beginning of that, where we see some of these women that they don't have plans for get into that division. So I don't know. I just think for some reason I'm going to go with Becky and Naomi. It's a toss-up. This one could be the one that loses me the match, because I have no clue what their ideas to go with these two is. Next up, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Conveniently for Rusev, it's going to be on Rusev Day. So, very hard to beat Rusev on Rusev Day. I kid, folks. I don't know why they put this match together specifically. It makes no sense. Rusev is kind of getting the Daniel Bryan treatment that Daniel Bryan got when he first got red hot, where they didn't want to push him, so they kind of pushed him to the back burner. I fear, and I before we get to what I'm about to say, I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win this. I don't think you have him, a guy that's going to be in a title match at the biggest pay-per-view of the year, I don't think you have that guy lose the pay-per-view before that leads into that. Unless you do something screwy, which I hope they don't. But I'm going with Nakamura for the win. But back to what I was saying about Rusev, it's kind of weird. This puts Nakamura in a bad situation. You got a guy that organically has gotten over with the fans in Rusev, and another guy that the fans love in Nakamura. So you're going to split the audience. You're going to turn some of the fans that are fans of both Rusev and Nakamura, but happen to be more Rusev fans, you're going to turn them against Nakamura. Which I don't know if that's a desired effect, but it's what's going to happen. This match makes no sense. I don't know why it's booked as such. I don't know why they didn't put Rusev in a different picture, maybe the U.S. title picture. I don't get it. It reminds me of when it took them forever to realize that Daniel Bryan was over. So it's almost the same exact thing in my opinion. Next up, before I drone on that for hours, Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott. Again, this is another one based on the timing, much like the Nakamura one. I don't see Charlotte losing going into WrestleMania. If this was any other pay-per-view of the year, or maybe the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, I could see Ruby picking up the win and running with a short championship run to see how she'll do. They're not going to experiment with that at WrestleMania. They want Charlotte as a champion at WrestleMania defending. So I see Charlotte winning. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't have her win. If they don't, I'll be surprised unless they want to do the rematch at WrestleMania to have Charlotte win the belt back at Mania. But I don't think, and this is no knock on Ruby Riott or the Riott Squad, which have been doing really good work on SmackDown. I don't think Ruby has quite earned that WrestleMania spot yet. Maybe if they do like a women's battle royal, kind of like the Andre the Giant, we could get her on the show. But the four women in the beginning of the night, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Natalya, and Carmella, they all would be better suited and more, I don't want to say deserving, because Ruby is a great wrestler, but it's the truth. They'd be more deserving of that shot. But anyway, I digress. We're going to go with Charlotte on this one. Next up, we have a tag team championship match, the Usos versus the New Day. The story of this, again, ties into WrestleMania. The Usos haven't had a main match on the WrestleMania card yet, which is criminally a shame with how good that they are. They're probably one of the better tag teams the last 5-10 years. I mean, who else do you put up there? You put the New Day up there, you put the Revival up there, go outside of the WWE, maybe the Briscoes and the Young Bucks. There isn't too many other teams that are in that stratosphere that have been as good as long as they have. So it's a shame that they haven't had that moment yet, which is why I think they're going to win here and defend the belts at WrestleMania and win at WrestleMania to give them a WrestleMania moment that they so deserve, I think, in my opinion. Now, next up, we have the U.S. Championship match. Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. This is another really interesting match on paper, and I can see it going either way. I have a feeling that Orton's going to do something different at WrestleMania, but I could get burned on this, so I'm going to go with Bobby Roode here. I don't think they have Bobby Roode lose this championship this quickly. I think they're grooming him to move up the card slowly, and by this time next year he'll be in the main event picture for WrestleMania. So I think part of that is having him win big-time matches against big-time wrestlers like Randy Orton. So I think Roode picks up the win. just, I guess, I'm going to say it's just a gut feeling, really, to be honest with you. And last but not least, for the WWE Championship, we have AJ Styles defending against John Cena, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, we can knock off two of these guys right away. Ziggler and Corbin are not going to carry your WWE Championship into WrestleMania. Neither one of them is built for that right now. Sorry. I like both of their work. I think they're both excellent wrestlers. They're not built in that way as of now. Zayn is on the cusp of that. The only way I see Zayn or Owens winning this match is one of them screws the other over, gets the pin on the other, setting up Owens versus Zayn for the championship at WrestleMania. So I don't think that's going to happen. Then we leaves us down to John Cena and AJ Styles. As much as the John Cena beating Ric Flair's record is a great story, I don't think it's a story for a Fastlane pay-per-view. And I don't think that the triple threat he said to AJ that if you lose, challenge me and Nakamura at WrestleMania, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get AJ Styles versus Nakamura at WrestleMania, and I think we're getting that as basically, I think WWE's starting to learn to throw a couple matches here and there out for the hardcore wrestling fans, for the people like myself, and probably most of you that are watching this video, because if you're watching a video with a guy doing predictions on wrestling, you're a hardcore fan. I think they're going to give us more and more of these matches that we're asking for, just because we're growing in numbers. The hardcore fan, even if it's only 20% of their audience, and the other 80% is what they so-called casual fans, the people that just watch Raw and SmackDown, don't look in the internet on it, and don't go over and watch Ring of Honor or New Japan or Lucha Underground or whatever. Even if we're only 20%, we're a significant enough amount of the audience, coupled with the fact that they want to do these great matches. I don't think WWE purposely says we want terrible matches. I think they want every one of their matches to be great. I think sometimes their bottom line is more important, which it should be as a business. You know, if John Cena is making you more money than AJ Styles, then by all means, John Cena deserves the main spot. In this case, though, I think they're going to do something different with Cena at Mania. I think we're going to get locked in with Nakamura versus AJ Styles, and I think AJ Styles picks up the win in this match. Just my opinion. I hope I'm right, because that's the match I would most want to see. Now, coming off of that, last time we forgot to add a tiebreaker. So this time we've added one. Today, which is March 10th, I had to double check the date, we are both Philadelphia Flyer fans, me and Paul, and we love the team. So the tiebreaker is the amount of goals the Flyers score against the Winnipeg Jets today. And I'm going to go with 4. I don't know, it just sounds like a good number in my head. I think it's not too high of a number. They've been playing a little lethargically and lackluster as of late, so I don't think they're going to have an offensive explosion. Although I think they are going to pick up the win. So I think they're going to win the game, maybe 4-2, 4-3, something in that range. So I'm going to go with four goals for the Flyers. Now on to the thing that you guys are waiting for, the punishment if we lose. We already have the pie in the face. So staying in that old school slapstick comedy kind of theme, we're going to do a water squirt to the face. Kind of like a seltzer water squirt would be with the bottles, like you would see on the Three Stooges, or like a flower. The seltzer water squirt's kind of expensive, so we're kind of updating that. We can do with any kind of squirt bottle. So we're going to take a pie in the face. For the second punishment, we're going to get squirted with water in the face. We can do them back to back. We can do them in either order. I know that if I lose, I'm going to go pie, then seltzer water, because then it's going to, clean it off at least. But it has to be seltzer water, and it has to be squirted into our face, no matter what the delivery system is. Whether we shake up a bottle and squirt it like that, that's just how it is. We'll figure out the delivery system on our own. We're both pretty good at things like that. So, anyway, without me going on for another 30 minutes and rambling about all this, basically this is all I have to say on that. Good luck to you, my brother Paul. I know either way, no matter who wins, we're going to have fun doing this, so that's why I love doing these with you. Good luck, my friend, and hopefully I win, but if I don't, it's still going to be fun. But basically, that's all I have to say. This has been my predictions for WWE 2018 Fastlane.